Hi, this is Jordan Horseman with Horseman Morris. I'm sitting here on 20 acres on Terlingua Ranch. It's a really great spot. This is really great 20 acres because you have a ton of foliage, a ton of plant life, you have really great views, and you have ease of access. So let's go through that. First of all, it probably takes about 7 minutes off Highway 118 to get here on the ranch roads. So basically right from the main road, you're going to turn left onto Terlingua Ranch Road. Pretty quickly, you're going to take a left north, 5 more minutes, and you're here. As you can see behind me, you have amazing views of 9 Point Mesa and Red Bluff. I mean, it really looks spectacular in person. I think it's a really, this would make a really great place for you to set up camp. There's lots of cleared areas where you could set up your tent right away without having to clear anything out. It'd make a really great spot for an Airbnb or some sort of hip camp camping spot to set up some campsites out here. If I was somebody visiting Big Bend National Park, this is the exact kind of place I'd want to stay. You'd want to be close enough to the highway to get down to the park easily, but you don't want to be somewhere where it's completely vast and empty desert. You know, you get the plant life, you get the great views of 9 Point Mesa, you really feel like you're, right in the middle of the ranch without having to drive too far. The roads out here, I'd say, are better than average. You get paved road on Terlingua Ranch Road for your first half of the journey, and then a pretty typical dirt road going north the last 5 minutes. And I'd say you can get here with any vehicle. You could get here with a Toyota Corolla. You could get here in really any sedan. Sure, if you have an all-wheel drive high clearance vehicle, that never hurts out here on Terlingua Ranch, but I think it's completely unnecessary. I wouldn't worry about guests or visitors that you're inviting out here to worry about what kind of vehicle they're bringing. I think they're going to be able to get here without any trouble, without any anxiety, without stressing about if they're going to be able to make it or not. It does look like there's a couple neighbors in the area, which is cool. So I think it kind of shows what you could do with the place if you wanted to actually build a permanent structure here. The neighbor to your north has like a really nice prefab cabin set up, and I think that's great. If you wanted to do the same thing, this would be a good spot for that. There's actually a lot of plant life here, which I would say is a good proximity for wildlife being here. If you want to see javelinas, mule deer, I think that this is probably a good place this would be a good bet for getting to see some of those animals walking through the property, get some cool photos. If you're not familiar with the area, Big Bend of Texas is one of the darkest night skies in the entire United States. So if you are interested to come out here and do some stargazing, take some night photography, this is going to be a great spot. I already have in my head the kind of compositions you can make with these landscape features behind me with the Milky Way and things like that. I think it would be pretty amazing results. 20 acres is a lot of land. 20 acres is a big space. So if you wanted to come out here and shoot some clays with your shotguns, as long as you're making sure to be pointing it down your 20 acres and not near your neighbors, you're not going to have any problems. There is some elevation, so if you wanted to bring your 22 or bring some of your other guns, if you obviously are a responsible and safe person, I think you could do that safely. Wouldn't necessarily be the perfect spot for a rifle range. There isn't a specific berm or backstop on the property yet, but if you wanted to bulldoze one up, I think that'd be pretty easy to do. One of my favorite things about being out here on Terlingua Ranch is it's just so quiet. You're close to the highway, you're close to ranch roads, but you can't hear the traffic, you can't hear air traffic. There's not a lot of planes flying by, there's not a lot of people honking, not a lot of people being loud. It's a great place to get out, sit quietly in nature, and just relax. Another thing that's really cool about some of the properties out here, and specifically this property, is this area is full of fossils. This whole area was once underwater, so it was an ancient ocean, and if you're a fossil hunter, if you want to hunt artifacts, obviously you need to keep it to your own property, but you have 20 acres, I'm sure it's absolutely full of fossils for you to collect or photograph. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, jordan@horsemanmorris.com, or if you found this video on our website, feel free to give us a call or fill out that form with any questions you have, and we'll get right back to you. Thanks.